We are really excited today. I am here at LG. Randy Warner, Mike Pechtel. How are y'all doing today?
Great, and thank you so much for having us.
It has been a few months since I've seen you. Saw you at KBIS, got to explore the booth a little bit there. But so tell us, what has been going on with SKS and LG since then?
Quite a bit, actually. We've launched several new products, and this is a big year for LG with new product rollout. Laundry, refrigeration, SKS. We're launching our 48-inch French doors. Finally arrived, and we're installing those in the U.S. right now. So new product, and with that comes a lot of challenges on trying to move old product out, get the new in. So we're working through a lot of that right now.
Wonderful. Well, so I know, one of the fears that is going around right now is an economic recession, an economic downturn, and I think we've talked about it for a lot longer than hopefully it will ever last, right? We've all kind of been waiting on tenterhooks for it. But as we kind of approach it and we try and prepare and plan for it, what is LG doing to support retailers and to support retailers as they support their customers?
Yeah, it's a great question. And obviously everybody's impacted by the little bit of the downturn here. And some of the things that we've done are really around repositioning some of our product. So we know that there's a little bit of a slip in package sales. So it's more of a single piece type of replacement business, which is a large percent of our business anyways. And with that, we had to reposition some of our models so that they were more attractive to somebody who would replace, because LG typically is that mid to higher end of the core. And so we've introduced some new models that will attack new price points. And then at the same time, we want to keep our ASP up, because as ASP is up, our customers, our partners make more money. And that's what this is about. It's margin is great, but dollars are very good. And so we want to keep ASP up in the industry, and that's our goal at LG.
Okay, wonderful. So now, Mike, as we look at the product, having the product in stock is always going to be the biggest issue. So what is LG doing to ensure supply?
Yeah, the biggest thing is you've seen the industry kind of taken off this year in January. We had probably our biggest influx within the quarter of inventory coming from our manufacturing plants. We've seen it about the last 5 or 6 quarters. So we intentionally lifted manufacturing in the fourth quarter. Of course, as we bring that overseas through the containers that is now arriving. I can tell you our fill rates, when you think about the direct side of our business, has rose almost 20 percentage points from the 1st of January as we now exit March. It's exactly where we thought we would be, but there's more inventory coming. I think what's going to help too is first quarter was very heavy in product transitions for us. So in those cases, we're having to manage inventory of the old and inventory of the new. That can be complex for us, our networks, but it's also complex for the retailers. The nice part about April, it's almost like a brand new year. It's a fresh start because now we're all on our new lines. So the retailers and your members, they're going to be ordering the new lines. We'll be inventorying the new lines. We'll be promoting the new lines. So why we love product transitions and we love the run up to it and the excitement, it's the best excitement is when they actually launch.
Yeah. So as you are looking at launches for these new products, what role does the independent channel specifically play in your go-to-market?
Yeah. I tell you, when you look at the independent retail, the one thing that they've been known for 20, 30 years is they have the best retail sales associates in the industry, right? They're the best qualified. They can sell mix. We are a mixed brand. And the reason why LG has been successful with nationwide members over the last 20 years, and think about the last 5, is the skills of the RSA matches our brand. And they understand innovations. They understand technology. They want to sell mix. They're not down there to sell the entry price point. And I think that's why you've seen the growth that we have had. A lot of people talk to us about how big has LG gotten with nationwide. We have grown almost 3x since 2018. During 2019, 2020, 2021, we continue to be that #1 appliance growth brand with nationwide. We want to continue that because we're the right brand for the right regional channel. And it's really what 2 things come together as one.
Yeah, and you don't achieve status like that without really having a great relationship with the retailer. So we are here in Dallas. We've been talking a lot about customer obsession and how you put the customer first, how retailers can really put the customer at the center of their operations. What is LG doing to put independent retailers and nationwide members at the center of their operations and to help support those members as they really try and surprise and delight their customers?
Yeah, so if you think about LG and the regional independents, what we have done in the last 4 to 5 years, what we call our direct initiative. And we know we want to get our inventory closer to the regional independent. We get the inventory closer to you, you get faster cycle times, you fill more orders. In 2018, we really had 2 RDCs, kind of 4. We're now up to 7. We've added over 1 million square feet of warehouse over the last 26 months. And that 1 million square feet of warehouse resource feet is really for the regional independents. Think about the new supply chain we put in. Not only the 7 DCs, we put in new shipping lanes, shipping zones, and all the things that we're doing. All that stuff is 100% really for the independent channel, because we know we've got to improve our infrastructure. We got to build our infrastructure. Think about the sales organization. In the last 20 months, we've increased our regional sales organization by over 80%. So it's more feet on the street. The more feet on the street, the more we're in those retailer outputs.
That's a massive investment.
Yep, it is. It is. It is.
So now, speaking of investment, are there any changes that we can expect from a promotional standpoint? Especially as we look, the past couple of years, it was sell anything you got on the floor, but now that there is supply, it's really regulating. Are we expecting any changes in a promotional or an incentive standpoint?
Yeah, I'll tell you, speak a little bit, but I'm going to turn over to Randy as well. I can tell you from the executional side, our goal is to keep the communications very strong to the members. The industry is moving. It is changing. A lot of people say it's changing very fast. It is. It's changing for the independent retailer, the nationwide member, and it is for us. Our goal is around communication. So we are trying to get more and more forward in the communications of our PMAP so the dealers can plan for it. We're trying to be more stable and fewer changes, because we know a change to us is a change to you, the member. But last but not least is about simplicity. We're trying to promote the same models from event to event to event. So one thing you always hear from LG is what we call our must-have models. Must-have models, those are the models that we're going to promote. RSA spiffing programs, deepest inventory, and everything we do is around those SKUs. So that's the best thing, advice we give to a regional, independent, and nationwide member is build your plan to sell on the must-have models, really from an executional side.
Yeah.
I don't have much to add to that, but I would just say Mike has done a tremendous job, and we're trying to lock into a really solid plan to sell so that the members, they know day in and day out, I sell this model, I have it in inventory, I make good money, my RSA makes good money. So he's done a tremendous job, and we have some internal discussion around what those models are and making sure we're promoting correctly around those models. So we have a lot of discussion around that now, and we think it will be executed in the back half of the year. The members would see a big lift from us.
Okay. So when you are picking those models that are going to be your must-haves, I'm assuming that they play very heavily into kind of this new, real intense focus on the home-centric or the home lifestyle. I know over the last 3 years being in my home, seeing those four walls, looking at things that I use every day, the things that were a minor annoyance before have now become a major kind of inconvenience.
Yes. Yeah.
So how is the home and the home-centric lifestyle really influencing what LG's doing?
Well, I think, we're an innovative company. We're a technology company. And so we drive a lot of new home innovation. And, just as you said, there are a lot of people that still enjoy spending time in their home. They're out more, obviously, than they were, but they still want to enjoy what they invested in before, or they want to invest in the future. And so what we're doing now is making sure that the products that we do launch have meaning. The features is not just a nice to have on a showroom floor, but actually has some meaning once they get in a home and is purposeful and useful. And that's not just with a product, it's with lines of products. And so like LG Studios, you see, this is a relaunch of this line, and it's directed at really the millennial customer that wants a little more sleek, contemporary style and look. That's what this is for. And so nice upscale, really purposefully done. And for the members, it's well done as well, because we have a pricing strategy to go with this. That's attractive for them for profit standpoint.
All right. So now when we do talk about lines, so we do have the LG Studio line, but then we also have the SKS.
Yeah.
So let's talk about luxury. Now we've heard about inflation, we've heard about reduced disposable income, lower savings rates that people have available to tap into. But are you still seeing demand for luxury?
Yeah. So the one category that I think is somewhat insulated from the downturn is the luxury category. And while it will be impacted, it's not to the severity of, say, a core line or an entry-level line by any means. So our luxury business has remained very strong. And you got to remember, we're still a very new brand in the luxury space. So for us, it's all upside right now. We're growing like crazy with the SKS brand. And we literally just launched last week our first 48 French door to the U.S., installed in a dealer's store. And so that's a big deal for us now that we can, and there's a lot more coming. So we pre-sold these units last spring. We have all the orders. We know where they're going. We're prepping the floors. So we're in really good shape to get that product out fast, because it's not just for a customer who wants to do their entire kitchen. It's a great replacement piece too. And that was done on purpose. It fits a 47.5-inch cutout. And so it can replace 15, 20-year-old Sub-Zeros that are dying.
And that leads into my next question. So as we do talk about kind of shorter replacement cycles, new technology, it's not even just product dying, but, everybody kind of wants like the newest, the best, the most innovative.
Yeah.
So are you seeing shorter replacement cycles? And
I think so. Definitely shorter. I've spent the last 15 years in the luxury space, and, coming from a time when I was at Maytag where stuff lasted 20 years, that's not the norm anymore.
I know,
and
my
so
had their Harvest Gold refrigerator for
yes.
a good 30
Yeah.
years.
So I think there is an appetite more because of the innovation that's being introduced to the market and the new product that's coming out, where it's a want in versus wear out mentality. And so if you do innovate and you give reasons for consumers to buy new product, I think they do have an appetite still to upgrade and invest. And maybe it's every 10 years or 8 years versus waiting 15 to 20 years before it gets replaced and you don't have a Harvest Gold refrigerator.
All right, so as we look at new products and we look at different buying opportunities, so we have retailers, of course, that are becoming more involved in e-commerce and mobile buying. So what is LG doing to support retailers across the buying spectrum?
I'll tell you, the biggest thing we do is our partnership with Nationwide. Between our 3 brands, from the content to the banners to product specs, we're making sure that you guys have our best information. There's a lot of questions out there. Is the online space, do I sell online? Do I not? That's really a choice for each independent to choose. But one thing is important, and really every independent needs to just embrace and move forward with in a positive way, is making sure you're marketing online. Leverage the assets and resources that you have as a member of Nationwide with the Nationwide marketing team. We continue to run many marketing events, both online, digital, social media, all the kind of stuff. We're there for print, paper, TV. Each of you have programs that allow you to use most of your, what we call our MDF programs, to help offset some of those costs for you. But the biggest thing is embrace it. Again, whether you're actually selling online or transacting online, it's important to be marketing online because that's where consumers are going. We're going to do our job by making sure that Nationwide marketing is prepared with the best messaging possible on LG. For the independent, just do your job and make sure that it's out there for your consumers to see you and know the products and brands that you carry.
Can I add one thing to this? I just want to add in that to if you're not online and that consumer does come into your store and shops and they make that decision, let's go home and think about it. And now they want to just go online and transact it without having to come back into the store. I think that's the key in this is whether, like Mike said, whether you want to physically sell to somebody who purely goes online or not, there's an element of that is an in-store view first. Then I go back home and make the transactional part of it. They may live 60 miles away. They don't want to make 2 trips. So you have to make that part of the convenience, whether it's a pure online or it's a comeback.
Yeah, because almost every shopper is online at some point in their journey, whether
100%.
they start there or they end there.
100%.
Yeah. All right, so wrapping up, what can retailers, and especially members of Nationwide, do to really engage with LG and SKS this coming year?
Now, I mentioned this earlier. Really, we're doing everything we can. All Mike and I do is worry about the regional part of our business, and that's the Nationwide customer. And so our focus is how do we improve our ease of doing business? We have great product. We have some clunky processes. We admit that. We know that. Our dealers know that. We're working hard to fix that so we become an easier company to do business with because we know we have the best product in the industry. And once we get past the hurdles of that, then there's no reason why you don't want to do business with LG. So we're making sure that we're trying to do everything we can internally to be a good partner to our customers.
Wonderful. All right. Randy Warner, Mike Pechtel, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for joining us here on Executive Insights. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more around.